Peace be upon you all. Friends, in my previous videos where I'm cooking something, you've often seen me using a knife with a yellow handle, a very beautiful handmade one. And people always ask me in the comments where I bought it or who made it for me. Actually, I need a new knife now, so I contacted the same craftsman to make one and show us how the process of making a new knife goes. He's actually the one holding the camera now.
Peace be upon you all, let's go.
When I see people who create something, I'm always interested in where their inspiration comes from. And I'm curious, what inspired you to get into knives? How did it all start? Briefly, we would be interested to hear your story.
I've always liked knives, let's start there. And I wanted to get into knives after I watched a couple of videos. I'll admit, but if you dig deeper, I've always liked national weapons. The national kama, the dagger, our shalta. I notice there are a few craftsmen involved today. I don't consider myself a craftsman, I'm a hobbyist, but in the future, looking ahead, I would really like to work specifically with national weapons. Of course, it all started. It began with a simple knife. I just chose to make one. I didn't have any tools or any equipment for this. The workshop, I set up the workshop kind of in the basement. It was just an ordinary table. A friend gave me a grinder, and that's how it all started.
Tell us step by step, how does the process of making a knife go from idea to finish?
Lately, I've been working mostly with ready-made materials. These are usually hardened strips. First of all, we start with this kind of blank. This is a hardened stainless steel strip, N690. That's why we start shaping it, refining it, and doing the metalworking. As a result, we get what we need, meaning we make the shape you require. Right now, I've covered everything with tape. Depending on the type of knife, whether it's a full tang, a hidden tang, or a through bolt construction, I'm already starting to think about the handle, meaning I'm choosing a specific material for the handle. Here's a piece of wood like this, stabilized. I'm not sure what kind of wood this is. It was given to me as a gift. The spaces will be made of G10, a strong material that's often used in folding knives. Next, moose antler. I sawed a whole antler. And the bolster will be made of brass.
Where did the name GERZGOVS come from? Can you tell us about it? Viewers unfamiliar with the Chechen translation will likely find it interesting.
I noticed that many Chechens, let's say, use different names. I thought, what name would I want? My first thought was Gunsmith. I'll be honest, I didn't know the word Gerzkovs. I just kept digging and eventually found the translation. And as it turned out, it means gunsmith. I think all of this is totally mine. I like how this Gerzkovs sounds. Here's what I got. I do it like this. I drill a hole. And then I have a tool like a saw. And according to the diameter, the width of the shank, I generally widen this hole. Now we're going to make the holes. These are G10 spacers. Very strong, good material. We mark based on width. We repeat the operation. Best, you can't sit this one out. We need your help. Come on, get to work. Okay, Master Beshta.
It turned out crooked.
It's fine. Are you sure? Of course.
Here too, right? Is that needed?
You don't have to do it, but you'll still need to widen it with a file.
I made my contribution.
Well, just the right one.
Yeah, it came up right away.
He knows. Well, that's how it is. We're expanding. So it turns out we need to expand here.
Wait, I want to record how poorly I did this.
Do you want to?
No,
So what?
it's clearly a jeweler's work. You can do this, right?
Now we'll do the same operation with the moose antler. Here's what we get. Now let's widen it using a file. And let's work on the bolster. I have a wood stove here. Beshta seems to be completely frozen. I need to add some firewood here, so we'll get us out to the range. This is roughly how it will look. Now we need to trim this horn a little bit so that this offset is even. Everything should fit snug. Even good. And so with every detail. Because if you don't grind it in, there might be a gap left somewhere, and we definitely don't need that. Now we'll prepare the glue and start gluing everything together. To make the glue opaque, I use printer ink. And you won't believe how much effort it took me to get it out of there. So many hands got dirty. Alright, we don't need the scales now. Use plenty of glue. The excess will be removed anyway. Apply generously. It won't go through by itself. The glue is thick. Collect it there. These excess glue spots that came out when pressed need to be removed with a cotton swab, because after it dries it will be difficult to do. Just like this.
Kazmamdu also receives old blades for restoration. For example, he has some here. Here's an old soldier's sword like this. It even has the production date written here, 1880. Zlatoust. Here it is, he will be restoring it. Sword. And here is a Chechen national dagger like this. It's called a kama in Russian, and in Chechen it's called a shelt. The date 1925 is also written here. He'll restore it. Of course, he has a very interesting job. Kazmamdu also has his own YouTube channel, Gözgovs, where he has many different videos about making knives and restoring various antique items. If you're interested, there will be a link to his channel in the description.
The glue's dry, so let's shape the handle. Here we've outlined the shape. First of all, before removing material from the sides, you need to go around the outline and make the shape. done with the machine processing, now we move on to manual work. It's done like this. Sandpaper with our favorite files for a very long time, but it's a lot of fun. Where we don't like the shape, we take it, a file that is a coarser abrasive, and shape it. In this case, I didn't like this curve on the bolster. Now only the finishing touches are left. 3000 grit, the finest abrasive. We're practically polishing the handle. Then we'll finish polishing it on the wheel. Well, that's how it is. The final result...
Everything is ready now, right?
Yes.
Just need to sharpen it?
Oh, yes. We finished the edge of the blade. Now we'll clean it with alcohol and try to cut some paper. It cuts well. That's enough. We screw this into that. If the knife wounded you, it means it has accepted you.
Yeah?
You can say that?
Damn, it's recording. Friends, look, this is the kind of knife we ended up with. I just cut my finger spinning it, it's that sharp. Share your thoughts in the comments. This is a work of art, let's come up with a name for it together. The comment that gets the most likes will be the name we choose for this blade. If you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Alright, now we're going to make the sheath. The sheath?
Yes, the sheath. Since we have very limited time, and the sheath is completed in a day. So we'll sew a simple basic sheath. But on any other day I would go for, let's say, a more complex composite sheath. Now let's take some vegetable tanned leather. I only use this kind, at least for now. I really like it. It's for embossing and you can do a lot of things with it. Let's transfer it. Our stencil. We want to make the embossing as minimal as possible. For this, we need to moisten the leather with water. We moisten it thoroughly, because the water needs to penetrate into the central, let's say, layer. That is, it needs to soak all the way to the center. Basically, to transfer it, any name or picture. I use this thing right here. I don't know what it's called, but it reflects the image itself in this way. It might not show on camera.
It's visible, it's visible.
So this is how I outline it. It's not that important to draw this in detail right now, because when we transfer it to the skin, we'll need to do it carefully anyway. Now we transfer it to the skin. We outline it. This is how we transfer it. So we've transferred the inscription. Now we will, with this kind of tool, to cut out, let's say, to make an indentation for further embossing. Now the embossing itself.
The process is slowly moving toward the finish. Cosmoma is now gluing. He will now glue both sides of the leather together. We will finish soon. Already? It's been about 10 hours since we started making this knife.
We're about to paint it. First, just paint it gray, and then we'll highlight the details with other colors. I sewed and glued on the suspension, then attached this type of suspension. The simplest one, since we're short on time. Now we'll work on the inside of the sheath. We'll treat it with bone oil. This is done so that Well, when you put a damp knife into the sheath so the leather doesn't rot, it protects against moisture. I just got an idea. I've never done this before. For some reason I wanted to do it. That's the effect you'll get. I'm going to splatter paint with the brush on the knife and sheath. Let's see what occurs. Now we're going to glue the sheath together for good. After that we'll start stitching. Get it right here. We'll remove the excess. Finally, we've reached the finish line. Now we'll cover it with the aperture. This is leather finishing varnish.
Friends, we've finally finished making the knife, or rather Kazmamot has finished it. It took us 15 hours to make it. This knife. I only had one, kind of. My order was to make the simplest knife possible so I wouldn't feel bad about using it. A functional tool, since Kazmamot's last knife for me was too fancy. I feel bad using it often. To use it, I hope this one lasts a long time. Faithfully and loyally. Don't forget.
Hard worker.
Hard worker, remember in the comments. Offer your own name for him. I'm satisfied with Kazmamot.